Hey everybody, welcome back to Refuse Ordinary. Today I have with me Johnny Bowers, a teacher and a leader at the School of Transformation, and we're going to be talking about discipleship. So, first off, what is discipleship? When I hear discipleship, I think of Jesus and his 12 disciples. I don't really think of a current thing that we need to know about.
Yeah.
So what is discipleship within the Christian church today?
It's a good question. Yeah, kind of like that term kind of has like an old style vibe to it. Yeah. But discipleship is the process of being discipled. And in a Christian sense, you're being discipled by Jesus, the teachings of Jesus, the red letters that we find in the Bible. And it's so relevant for today. It still is current. Okay. We need to be discipled if we consider ourselves Christians.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your experience with that, and how with being discipled, and how has that affected your relationship with Jesus? And
I mean, I guess being somebody that came from no Christian background at all, being discipled was huge for me. It was almost like being spiritually fathered.
Okay.
To me, it was like coming underneath somebody that has way more knowledge and way more time behind him in Christianity, learning from him while also reading the Bible myself and being discipled through my relationship with Jesus, but also having somebody to follow and learn from that has more experience than me. Yeah. And it was at times, it was tough, but it was so good for me. I actually craved it and desired somebody to help me along the way, teach me, and just kind of guide me through Christianity, because the process of doing Christianity by yourself has got to be pretty overwhelming. Yeah. And I think that throughout the Bible you can see that we were made for relationship with people. We were made for discipleship. I mean, discipleship is like being an apprentice at a job.
Yeah.
Right? It's like if I wanted to learn how to be a carpenter, I would learn from a carpenter. If I want to learn how to be a surgeon, I go to school and learn how to be a surgeon from doctors and from teachers and stuff. And so it's discipleship, and being discipled was so good for me because I had somebody that I could call on, somebody that could help me, somebody that can encourage me and just kind of lead me to the man that I am today.
Yeah, that's good. That made me think of when I came to the school at first. I was looking for a change in my life, in my Christianity, and I realized that if I'm gonna change, I'm gonna have to do something different. Yeah. And for me, being someone that tends to be more inward processing, and I realized I needed help in getting my thoughts out and everything like that. And so for me, I ended up seeking somebody, asking somebody to pretty much disciple me, and who I would share my thoughts with every day, and what I was going through, and they would help me process it and help me think think in the right way, or truth, pretty much. Yeah. Walk out truth, because we kind of on my own, I wasn't really going anywhere. I realized that very quickly, that it's that was actually quite important in my Christianity, to have somebody to follow. And so with this, it sounds all great, but is it something that is easy?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not easy. I mean, I would think that it's not really worth it if you just agree with everything. I think that discipleship really starts to get some weight to it when you come to some point where it's something is hard, because Jesus asks us to do hard things. Yeah. Right? You think of denying yourself, picking up your cross, and following Jesus. It's oh, that sounds easy enough, but it's when you start doing it, it's not really that easy, but it's worth it. Yeah. And I think that seeing the goal in it is what gives us the drive, and seeing the person that's leading you they're laying their lives down for you.
Yeah.
They're laying their lives down for you, and they're if somebody's going to if I'm going to disciple someone, or I'm being discipled by somebody, that person should look like Jesus.
Yeah.
And the goal of their life is to be more like Jesus every day, so that they're safe to follow.
Yeah. So so it's kind of a two-part question, but like, what is it actually essential or important to be discipled? One, and how about for those who really have a hard time, like maybe who have been hurt by Christian leaders and like have kind of decided that it's better to do it on your own.
Yeah.
And there's not really like trust in that, and then they're and then being told that, hey, it's actually like you should be discipled. What's your advice on that?
My advice on that would, to answer your first question, is yes, it is essential to be discipled. I think that if anybody says that they want to follow Christ and they've accepted Christ into their hearts to be their personal Lord and Savior, that you just signed up for discipleship. It's not just reading about the disciples in the Bible. Like your Christian means to be a little Christ, right? To be Christ-like. And that's the process of that discipleship. So yes, I think that we all should have some form of discipleship in our lives, and somebody that we can trust and somebody that we can glean from and learn from. But I hear all the time people that have been hurt or let down by leaders, and it's super unfortunate that somebody would have that story, but it's a common thing that we hear. And so the people that have been hurt or maybe have trust issues, and what I would say is just examine their lives. Right? Look at the fruit. What does their marriage look like? What does the fruit of their children look like? What does the fruit of their church look like? Do their church members, are they thriving? What's the heartbeat? What's the fruit of this person's life? And just examine them. I always tell people, just look at my life. My life is an open book. You can ask me anything. And then I think that other people will testify to that person's fruit when you're thinking like, man, maybe I should be discipled by this person. People will also have testimonies of, man, this guy has good fruit in his life, or this woman has good fruit in her life. Yeah,
that's really good. I like that where you said that your life is an open book, that there's not like secrets that you're hiding. Like you're obviously like, would that be in a way like you're being discipled by other people too? Like you're being accountable, and you know that you're safe to follow. And so you can like honestly tell people like, I'm safe to follow and I'm going towards Jesus. Come along if you'd like, right?
Yeah, I think that now, as somebody that is a leader in the school, I have people that I'm discipling, but that doesn't mean that I stop being discipled. I still have accountability in my life. I still go to leaders in my life, and they can still challenge me on things or encourage me and say, hey, how are you doing with that? Like, I'm doing really good, or man, I'm struggling right now. Can you help me? Like, but I think that as somebody that's discipling others, and when somebody says you can follow me, it's like that is like a huge responsibility to say that before people, because you've just given permission for people to look at your life and for God to like say, okay, like you just went up here and now you're gonna have to live up to this calling. And I say my life's an open book because I think that being vulnerable, even vulnerable with people that I'm leading, helps them feel safe. Helps them say, man, I can trust Johnny because he's open with me. And especially with my wife. My wife's my number one accountability person, right? It's like, I want to make sure that when she goes to bed at night, she's safe. She knows that I'm the same man behind closed doors that I am in front of everybody. My kids are safe. The students that sign up for the school are safe because I'm somebody that says, I know what this means, and I know the responsibility that the call of Jesus on my life is not something to take lightly.
Yeah, that's really good. So would you have any closing words of advice for people on this topic?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you are doing Christianity alone, that you really need to seek out Jesus on that and just
Yeah.
read the Bible and find out, like, is Christianity supposed to be a lone wolf thing? And you'll find that it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the book of Acts, it's like they did everything together.
Yeah.
You know, we were made for family. We were made for being a body and just going after this goal of Jesus and spreading the gospel together.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was really good. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of Refuse Ordinary. Please join us next week. We'll be talking about love. Thank you so much for joining us at Refuse Ordinary. I hope that it was both challenging and inspiring in your walk with Jesus. If you have any questions at all, please comment below. We would love to hear from you. I have 3 different ways in which you can get involved at the School of Transformation. First, we have our flagship full-time in-person school right here in beautiful Oroville, California. Next, I have School of Transformation Light, which offers part-time modules, in-person and online on Sunday mornings. Last but not least, I have School of Transformation Light on the Move, which distills all the topics and teachings of the school into a video series, which means that you can watch it wherever you are. This is going to be launching very soon. If you have any questions or would like more information on any of these options for school, please head to transformationschool.org.